Welcome back to the Game Room, where we are going through some of my favourite games in my physical collection. And today we are over at the arcade section of the room. That is because we are going through something that might at first seem like it is a genuine arcade machine, but it is not. Let's go and have a look at this machine over here, this Daytona USA machine. Show you briefly what it is all about, and then show you some of my favourite games in my physical collection, which will make sense when we're over there. So let's go and have a look at that. Thanks for joining me. Okay, let's take a little bit of a closer look at this machine here. So this one is actually an Xbox 360 disguising itself as an arcade machine. So I've just got a flat screen in there, as in an LCD monitor. I think it's actually a computer monitor that I've got in there. And then I have put in a pair of speakers. We've got the Xbox 360 force feedback wheel. That was a must when I was making this machine. The idea was I wanted to make a Daytona USA machine. And I thought the best way to go about that is have the Xbox 360 force feedback, so you still get all that kind of, when you hit the walls, it pulls back. And you can actually feel the tension of your wheels on the road. So you get all that with this, and it is self-centering as well. And I've just mounted that. It's got the pedals. It does not, unfortunately, have manual gear stick. It has the flippers, whatever you might call those. I'm not really a car person, but I know some of the racing cars have those flippers to change gears, and it also has that on here. So you've just got your accelerator and your brake. If you are looking into doing something like this, then the nice thing about this setup is, unlike everything that comes after it, the Xbox One, your Xbox Series, it does not require updates. And in fact, with the shop kind of down these days, it has finished with all those updates. So what you have is what you have, and you can get some updates for your games if you connect online. It might have a few smaller updates for different games that you have actually purchased, but you can't purchase anymore off the marketplace. That's gone. But it has a really nice version of Daytona USA on here. Unfortunately, today I am talking about physical games that are my favorites in the collection, and this is not a physical game that I have in the collection. So if you were to do this these days, you would have to probably, you might have to find another way to get that Daytona game. It could be that you need to emulate or something similar to be able to get that on your machine before you play. But let's have a look at the rest of the setup. So under the actual car seat that I have in here, I have an Xbox that is sitting, let me come and grab you and bring you closer. I have an actual physical Xbox 360 chucked in there, and just I have access to my speakers as well, so I can turn that up and down through this little section here. That's just a speaker with the volume control, so that's hiding away under there. It does get hot. It's not good for the console, but it's the way that I have it. It is a heavy beast, this one, because it's all made out of quite strong wood, and then it's got the actual car seat, so it is heavy. It is hard to take anywhere, and it is a real pain to do anything with. But in saying that, I love it, my kids love it, and as I said, when we jump in here and you don't have to do any updates and things because it's using the Xbox 360 hardware, well, that's just perfect. In terms of physical games for this console, I have a bunch. I have a few Xbox original titles. Most of these are Xbox 360. I've tried to pick them up wherever, whenever I could. I don't go for the really expensive ones, so most of these are your cheaper, kind of being collected when they were cheaper. If I was to start again today, I don't think I would have so many because of the price. But there it is. There's my collection. I have not played all of them. I have played a whole bunch. Let's jump into my favorites. So you find a lot of the the Xbox games will work completely fine on an Xbox 360 without having to do anything, without having to do any tinkering around. Pop it in and off they go. The nice thing about an Xbox 360 as well is that a lot of the games are region free. Sometimes with the Xbox original games they work fine as well, but a lot of the Xbox 360 games are actually region free. You don't need to worry about that. But yeah, let's jump into the Xbox. So Xbox, I have a bunch of games. I don't play the Xbox games as much as I do the 360 ones, but if I had to choose a favourite that I have out of the ones that I do have, it would be Outrun 2. Now I've got the generic version of Outrun 2. I do not have the Coast to Coast edition. In fact, I don't even really know the different reasons why the Coast to Coast edition seems so much more desirable and so much more expensive. To me, the Outrun 2 version that I have is plenty. That's all I need. It is interesting, even though it's a game that is so well loved. It is not one that I have spent a lot of time with. I know that a lot of this is to do with drifting around corners and things. I can't remember the controls even, so let's get used to those. This is something that the Xbox 360 does really well, and that is have those arcade style racing games that we used to love back in the arcades. The ones that were just about the jump on and be able to play them straight away rather than having to learn all the mechanics of the game. And this one is very much that type of game as well. There are people who master this, I know that they do, and they can do a much better job than what I'm doing now. But as I said, not remembering the controls, not having played this one very much, being able to jump on and have a really fun game is definitely what the Xbox 360, what I really wanted in this type of arcade racing setup. So this is definitely one of my favorites of the Xbox genre, even though I haven't played many of them whatsoever. This type of one is what I'm actually after. So it is very much recommended, especially if you have a wheel still, or if you're able to get your hands on one of these wheels or something similar for the Xbox, then Outrun is one of those games that is really going to please. Definitely a lot of fun. The graphics still look fantastic, especially with that kind of HD upgrade that the Xbox 360 gives. It really brings the Xbox to life in a way that it would otherwise not be with just its normal kind of the ordinary console version or the ordinary console setup. This is a much better way to play those games. Get out of the grass! I need to work on my drifting. Games like Outrun 2 here, that are those arcade classics, it is very difficult to kind of pry yourself away from them. I just love I just love the whole setup of them. And then I want to jump back in and I want to try again. But for the sake of this video, let's push on, otherwise I'll be here all night playing this game. Alright, when it comes to the Xbox 360, it is a really hard choice. This is where the arcade racing games really shine. They are just so good. This is top tier when it comes to being able to leave a machine like this and just come back to play it. As I said, the new racing games that are coming out all the time would be fantastic and I'd love to have them. The only thing is you just have to update them all the time. You have to have a way for the console to update, you have to have a way for the games to update, you have to make sure that you do that regularly or that you have them always on, powered on to be able to do that. The Xbox 360 doesn't need any of that, and it has corkers. Let's talk about some of those right now. So Split Second Velocity is a game that I would highly recommend. It is really an action racer where you are racing against your opponents, but you're not only trying to win by getting to the finish line, you can actually knock them out of the race, or not actually out of the race, you can knock them further back in the race by setting off different events around the track. And the track really does change because of it. So you might be in a stage that is to do with plane hangars, and you might explode some of that track as your rivals come around, and it drops down roofs on people, or you might see the the plane start to fall down and make a big mess, and it's a lot of destruction in this one. And then your actual tracks change. So where you might be racing alongside a plane in the first lap, well, if you've destroyed that part, then you might have to go through the plane in the next race or the next lap to continue the race. Really, really solid racer, but a lot of fun in a destruction type of Carnage type of way as well. It is one that would just is highly recommended. Even if you don't have a wheel, this is fun with a controller as well. FlatOut Ultimate Carnage is definitely one that continues on that theme of destruction. It has Destruction Derby, it has your Derby races. It is all to do with smashing up other cars as well. So it has very normal type races with just a little bit of car carnage, or you can jump into the arenas. And then it has stunt modes and mini games and all types of things as well. It's not, the racing isn't as solid as other games, but what it lacks in kind of racing finesse, it certainly makes up for in the fun and the silliness of it. It is definitely one that you can jump in and play. So pick up that one and play it however way you can. Good fun with the controller, more fun with the steering wheel. Burnout Paradise is another destruction racer, except this time you are in a map that you can drive to wherever you like, whenever you like, and then when you find a spot that you want to go for a race, or you want to jump into a different type of game mode, then you can initiate that by pushing a series of buttons. You jump into that race, that kind of carnage mode, that event, that stunt, and then you're back into the over world map where you can drive around, and you'll see other people driving around as well that look like they're supposed to be competitors. And it has one of those rock tracks to kind of, or rock soundtracks to go with it as well. It very much plays off the Guns N' Roses Paradise City track that goes with this game, but you can get this one as in it's been not remade, what are they called? They got remasters of this game on different consoles as well. But if you have a 360, it's well worth picking up. The Forza Horizon games, always good fun. Another type of open world map, except this time you are definitely dealing more with the finesse of car racing. But the Forza Horizon games are definitely good fun and open world, and you drive to your events, and they still have a lot of the different racing feels for different cars, the different things that you can do to your car to make them behave in different ways or to feel different ways. Great fun with a steering wheel. Definitely one that you need to have if you have one of these setups, because you can chuck anybody on one of these types of games and they'll have a lot of fun driving around the open world maps. Not as open as you would love to see, not as open as the Xbox One and Xbox Series versions, but still a lot of fun in that open world. My favourite game on the Xbox 360 that is a racing game is this one here, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. Now my son's favourite that goes along the same lines, he enjoys the Need for Speed Most Wanted. To be honest, I haven't put in as much on this one as I have on this one. This one has the open world aspect to it, so you're able to drive around, and it's all about getting car races with other people that are around the map, and also outrunning the police. I'm not sure if you can play as the police in this one, but I know that you can in this one. This one is definitely my favourite. In this one, they are just a series of different races. You can either do a race where you are racing against other players. You have races where you are just the only person on the racetrack, where you're test driving a car. Usually there's other traffic, but I'm talking about other races. You can play ones where you are racing against other races, ones that you are not. You can play ones where you are trying to outrun the police that are on your tail. You can play different races where you play as the police trying to catch the people who are racing around as well. And then in those types of games, you can upgrade your police car and the different types of things that you have at your disposal, like spike tracks, like roadblocks and other things. Or it even goes into electronic pulse types of weaponry to try and take down the people that you're pursuing. And when you're racing in either as the person who is racing or the police, you can upgrade your cars as well. So you have all your different types of races around a map, and then you can choose that section of the map, and then you have a bunch of different races available to you depending on how much you've gone through the game. This also has a few really fun mechanics in it. It has a slipstream type of mechanic that goes along. So if you sit behind one of these races, then you will be in their slipstream. And then once you go out to the side, you've actually got yourself a bit of a boost. It also, let me find the button. There we are. It also has a NOS button. If I'm driving in the oncoming traffic, then my NOS will fill up quicker. If I'm doing something a little bit dangerous, then it will fill up quicker than it would if I did not. And it has that car combat that I love so much in games as well. So it does have the ability to kind of smash other players and other cars. So there we are. There are my favourites. When we are talking about the Xbox original, the favourite one that I have is Outrun 2. And when we are talking about Xbox 360 races, then my favourite is Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. Thank you again for being part of the Game Room and all that we have to offer here. Please make sure that if you haven't checked out the other collection videos that I have, as in the favourites of my collection, then please go back and check out those. I've got heaps of those now. Thank you to Chris from The Real Bit Wars for first posing this question. As I said before, it's given me a lot of mileage and it continues. I've still got a few that I'd like to make of this, so stick around for those as well. That will be coming up in future weeks. If you like what you have seen, then please drop a comment down below and tell me your favourites. I'd love to hear those. If you have your own favourites that you'd like to video and your favourite games in your physical collection, then I'd love to see them, and you can tag me in them, and I'd love to be a part of having a look at those and commenting on those as well. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time on the Game Room. See ya.